If you are ready to experience abundance and success for yourself in 2024, this video is going to be a game changer for you. Whether you want to earn your first 6 or 7 figures in your business, you want to get your YouTube channel off the ground, or whatever it is, you must learn how to reprogram your mind for it. Look at all the successful people. I actually went to a bunch of their seminars, I read their books, and I organized this down into 7 steps that you must take. So stay until the end because the last one is especially important. And if this is something that you're serious about, go ahead and drop a hashtag I'm a creator down below so that I see who you are. So think for a second, what does it really take for someone to be successful? It's not necessarily the hand that they're dealt or luck. Let's take the example of 2 different YouTubers. Let's say the first one has all the equipment, all the software, and all the support to succeed with their YouTube channel, and they have a bunch of time to do it. And let's say in a year later, when you look at their results, they only have 1 video posted and 2 subscribers. Meanwhile, this YouTuber over here, they don't have a lot of time. Maybe they have a 9-to-5 job that's really draining, maybe they have kids, and let's say even their spouse doesn't support them. But in a year from now, they can have their silver play button, and also they can have an abundant business around it. So what is the big difference between these 2 YouTubers? It really comes down to personal power. In other words, it comes down to the ability to create results in your life. And so how can you actually harness this personal power so that you experience the results that you are looking for? So let's talk about the 7 steps to create the results that you want for your business, your life, and your YouTube channel. The first one is that you have to get crazy, crystal clear on what it is that you want. The reason why a lot of people don't get what they want is because they don't have a clear idea. They have a vague idea of like, oh yeah, I want to be rich, I want to be a millionaire, but they're not crystal clear. Before I started my YouTube channel and my business, I was clear that I wanted to move to San Diego, that I wanted to be financially independent, and that I wanted to be able to afford my car, my groceries, all those things. And so I even got so specific, and I even like detailed what my apartment would look like. I detailed the view, kind of like how it would feel like it was a studio apartment. And it's so funny because I made a vision board about it and it looks exactly how it does in the pictures. And so that's the power in getting crystal clear on what it is that you want. And so I encourage you to get like crazy detailed, and this works for other areas. You know, imagine your dream YouTube channel, imagine your dream business and your dream life, and I encourage you to create like a vision board or to write if that's what you want to do. And let me give you another example. So Mel Fisher was actually a treasure hunter. He was searching the ocean to try to find a shipwreck with a bunch of treasure. By the way, the ocean is today's sponsor of this video because I'm really passionate about the ocean, and that's another thing I'm clear about. I'm clear that I eventually, want my funds to support the ocean. I want to donate a bunch of money. And so Mel Fisher, he was crystal clear that he was trying to find the sunken shipwreck. It was sunk in 1622, and it was a Spanish shipwreck, and he knew exactly what he was looking for. And so that's what you need to do. You need to be crystal clear on what it is that you're striving to do. The second thing that you must do is you must have a higher motive. I know we all heard about how you need to have a really clear why, but whatever your why is, you must let it put you in a good state. So this must be something that gets you out of bed in the morning. And when you think of your why, it should bring your shoulders back. It should change the way you talk, the way you show up. It should really put in a new energy in you that excites you. And so what is your why? Let me know it down below. And for me, I told you that my why is that I want to be a multimillionaire, but not because I want like a Porsche or a Bugatti, or I do want a nice house, but I don't need like a ginormous mansion. I want to make millions of dollars because I want to help protect the ocean. I actually have an idea for a documentary that I want to make. And so the money from my YouTube channel and my business is going to go directly towards that. And so that's my why. I'm not exactly sure what Mel's was. I'm sure he, wanted to provide for his family and stuff, but that's what you need. And so when you know your why, the behaviors and the actions will actually come from that. That will actually follow. And so before we dive into taking action, that's of course one of the steps, but here's one that a lot of people actually skip over, is you need to have good communication. So what do I mean by good communication? The quality of your life, your business, and your YouTube channel and your relationship equals the quality of your communication. Really think about that, especially with yourself. You need to have good communication with yourself, because there's a quote that whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. And so the beliefs that you have will actually determine how much of your potential that you can tap into. If you don't believe you can do it, or if you don't believe you're worthy, if you tell yourself that you're not, then it doesn't matter what action you take. It's not going to work because you're going to end up self-sabotaging yourself. Also, if you're someone who's looking to grow an audience like me and, grow on YouTube, grow on Instagram, whatever it is, you need to have good communication with your audience. And I really do encourage you to communicate with your audience what your higher purpose is. It wasn't until really recently that I started talking about how my higher purpose is to protect the oceans. And it all ties in with what I'm doing with YouTube, because the health of the oceans has to do with communication. There's a communication gap between politicians, big businesses, the media, society, and also the public. And so there's a communication communication gap. So communication is super important. I think communication is the quality of the entire planet. And so you need to have good communication with yourself, with your audience, with your clients, with your team members, with your spouse if you have one. And that will lead to the results that you're looking for. And even Mel Fisher, he had a strong why. He wanted to find, like this sunken treasure ship, but also he had really good communication. So he let that put him in a good state every morning. And even his crew, they said like every morning he was in such a good attitude. He always said like, today's going to be the day. And even if they didn't find it, he would say tomorrow's going to be the day. And I think they were looking for that shipwreck for like 18 years. And so he really had to have good communication, good faith, and he really had to stick to it. And that actually leads me into the fourth step. So you have to actually do shit. You have to actually take action. Really obvious, but you have to also take action and also take responsibility. A lot of people, when it comes to reaching their goals, they point fingers. They think, oh, I can't do this because of my wife or my husband, or, because like the algorithm or because of the government, whatever it is. You can't point fingers. You have to take full responsibility. And also, when it comes to taking action, it's good to model success. So model people who've gotten the results that you're looking for. So it's good to have coaches and mentors, but even you can model people who are dead. A lot of them wrote books, biographies, autobiographies. They have documentaries. And so really study their thoughts, their beliefs, what action they took. And a lot of people struggle here. They struggle to take action because, they're not motivated, they don't feel like it, maybe their health is in the way. But the way I like to look at it is like, I associate so much pain to not taking action. Like if I'm just sitting in bed, not doing anything, I associate that as painful. I dread it. I'm so uncomfortable with being comfortable, and that's what you have to do. And you have to associate so much pleasure to taking action. Like today, I got so much pleasure from getting out here, scripting my video, and delivering it to all of you. That brings me enormous pleasure. And so it's like a burst of dopamine. I literally reprogram my mind to give me pleasure when I do that. And the opposite is true. If I didn't do this, I would be like so upset with myself. And so that's how you can reprogram your mind to actually take the action. The fifth thing you must do is you have to pivot as necessary. You have to adjust your approach. And there's a quote out there that says that the definition of insanity is doing something over and over again and expecting a different result. That's true, but it's kind of not true. Because yes, you have to adjust your approach, but a lot of times it's not about changing your strategy. Sometimes you just need to be consistent with the strategy. So for example, Mel Fisher would have been crazy if he always looked for the shipwreck in the exact same place. That would have been crazy. But he didn't do that. He was looking for the shipwreck in many different locations. And so he was consistent with looking for the shipwreck, but he wasn't crazy to do it in one spot. And so let's take YouTube, for example. If you're posting on YouTube, it would be, you'd be crazy to think oh, I posted 5 videos and one didn't go viral, so this is a failure. I need to completely change my strategy. Maybe I'll try TikTok, or maybe I'll try Instagram. No, you have to be consistent with something, but always adjust what you're doing. Try to get better each time you do. So really stick to it. And so that's what I'm doing with this channel. I'm always posting all the time. I'm always working to get better. I'm always having my mentors critique my videos because I'm not perfect. Even though I teach this stuff, I'm still striving to be better and better. It's like working on a muscle. You can always get stronger and stronger. There's no limit to how strong that you can get. The sixth thing that you must do is really let go of resistances and also your own ego. So a lot of times people will fall into comparing themselves. And I've fallen into this too. I see some YouTubers who've been doing this for as long as I have, and I catch myself comparing myself to them, and that's where my ego comes in the way. But you have to let go of your ego and also let go of resistances, because you are on your path and you can't compare yours to someone else's. They're completely different journeys, and you two have very different missions. You're in very different phases of your life, and so you have to keep your eyes on your path. Don't go over to someone else's lane. And so that's really important. And also you have to really let go of resistances, because there's this book called Ask and It Is Given, and it's so true, where you basically put out there what you want. You ask the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. You ask what you want, you're clear and you're specific, and then essentially it's given to you. Of course you have to take action to do it, but a lot of people are resistant. It's like the answer is trying to be channeled to you, but you're resistant, so it's like you're putting up a block to getting the answer. A lot of times you just need to put down your resistances, and you need to allow things to come to you, and you need to allow yourself to experience it. A lot of people self-sabotage at this point because they don't think they're worthy. They're afraid of success, whatever it is, but you have to let go of that. And then when you do, results will start to come in. And that actually leads me into step number 7 of all this. You must celebrate your success, because success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. Imagine achieving everything that you ever want only to feel a pit in your stomach, to feel hollow on the inside. It's a terrible feeling, and that's why a lot of millionaires actually kill themselves, because they reach the results and throughout the process maybe they let go of relationships, and they don't have a community of people there to celebrate with them. And so I really do encourage you to have a support group, have a community, and then also I encourage you to really connect with your higher mission and your higher purpose. I know I already said this, but you want to be connected through that throughout the journey, so that when you get the results, you feel that self-actualization. And so it's super important. And by the way, if you are someone who's looking for for a community and also my personal support to help you experience the results with your YouTube channel and with your business. And I do encourage you to apply for my YouTube at Business Accelerator. YouTube is a very, very powerful vehicle to create the change that you wish to see in the world. It completely transformed my whole life, and it really helped me to reprogram my mind for abundance and success, because the whole journey was just a whole personal development process, and it really helped me to tap into abundance, to experience the success that I'm looking for, and to create the change that I want in my own life, but also in the world at large. I mentioned that, my mission is to protect the oceans, and so my big why is that I really want to contribute to a bunch of people and help them become vehicles for the change that they wish to see in the world, because I see how it all comes together. By supporting all these good causes, it's like it makes the world a better place, and it makes the world healthier. It makes us more conscious, and when we're more conscious, then we can protect the environment. We could think just beyond ourselves. And so one of my big missions is that I do want to make a bunch of money, but it's not for me, it's for the ocean. I actually want to create a documentary. I have a great idea in mind for a documentary that I eventually want to make, and it ties into YouTube. So I really tell you this because whatever the changes that you wish to see in the world, you can use YouTube as a vehicle. And so if you haven't even started, I really encourage you to consider it, and feel free to check out my resources down below where I'll help you with that. But especially if you're someone who started and you just want to get to that next level, I'm telling you, like, my message in this video will especially resonate, because you must program your mind for that success, for that abundance, to achieve the results that you want. And don't be attached to a certain number of subscribers, because it's not symmetrical with the amount of income and impact that you can make. I built a 6-figure business around this channel, and I want to help as many people as possible to do that, so again, they can create the change in their life, but also contribute to really good causes. So again, I hope you found value from this video. I hope what I shared will help you to do that. But when you're done, I encourage you to check out this next video where I talk about how YouTube was so worth it for me, and all the abundance and results that you can experience because of it.